Hello and welcome to the intersection of the Queensway and Islington Avenue here on the city's west end in the former borough of Etobicoke. And today is Thursday, May 9th. It is 10:27 a.m., so it's an early one for me. And the temperature right now is around 15 degrees Celsius. I don't normally get out and record at this hour, but I'll be doing a live stream right after this one. And I'll be walking east along the Queensway here, I think over to Parklawn Road, and then I'll head down towards Humber Bay. I'm not sure if I just missed a light cycle or not. But we'll wait for the next one, and this is a look north up Islington Avenue. And that was the 110A bus I was on. That took about 5 minutes to get from Islington Station down to this intersection. And in total, from my home in Midtown, it took about 50 minutes. And this is just my third time covering this area on the channel. I recorded a walk back in 2021 through here, and I did another one in 2023. And I found it dead enough to call this area deserted in both of those walks. A bit of a clickbait title, but wasn't entirely untrue. As we head east on the Queensway, Wiggles adult video, everyday low price. Toys, magazines, trade-in, private viewing. And they have a rear entrance. They have all the fixins. It's hard to believe in 2024 a place like that is still around. And I'll be passing by the first ever Tim Hortons in the city of Toronto. That'll be coming up in a few blocks. And the Queensway neighborhood stretches, I think, from Kipling, which is behind me to the west, to just before Parklawn Road where I'm heading. And this began as a farming community back in the late 1800s. And I don't think we'll see a lot of pedestrian traffic. It's not exactly a destination neighborhood. There's no big post-secondary schools nearby or anything like that. I think the demographic would skew a little bit on the older side. According to neighborhoodguide.com, the walkability of this neighborhood is high, the affordability is medium, bikeability is low, as you can see by the non-existent bike infrastructure. It is low on green space. Its transit rating is medium. I think for restaurants it was rated medium. And I really don't think the time of day you come through here matters. It's pretty much always going to be like this. Not a lot of foot traffic, mostly noisy vehicle traffic. And some mid-rise buildings going up. Cool condos, KUL condos.com. And just over there, if I'm not mistaken, is what is the first Timmy's in Toronto. That opened up in June of 1970, although the chain started in Hamilton, a city to the west of here. Although it looks like it's been extensively remodeled, if not entirely rebuilt since then. Would have been cool if they kind of left it alone in its original state. Including the menu and how they make donuts. They used to make them fresh in most locations. And the switch to central baking took their donuts several notches down quality-wise. It also switched coffee suppliers. And they say it's not like it used to be. Whoever they are aren't lying. I've definitely noticed it's not as good. The donuts are smaller. They're obviously a lot more expensive. There's the Cowway Arms. There's the classic Dairy Queen and Money Mart combo next to a Starbucks. There's a good variety of food here, though. They even have Momo at the Himalayan Kitchen. Banh mi, Vietnamese street food and drinks. Hair to Hair, that's an odd name. And the developments on the south side of the street seem to be a bit more suburban in nature. Buildings surrounded by parking lots. This is kind of unique. I think all these homes count as being on the Queensway. That one is 792. So this little, whatever you call it, doesn't have its own street name designation. And this stretch of the Queensway was originally a trail when it was first developed. It was called Stop Side Road. And just south of here is the Gardner Expressway that was built in the 50s. And at that time, the street was extended east over to the Parkdale neighborhood, where it links up with Queen Street. It becomes Queen Street east of Roncesvalles. To the west is the Queensway. Now the interesting retail is over on the south side. Japanese, Mexican. So this is Royal York Road coming up. And to the north of there, up on Bloor, is Royal York Station. I wonder if the boycott of Loblaws and its affiliated stores has affected this No Frills too much. That's Loblaws' lower cost supermarket chain. And look at this, painted lines masquerading as a bike lane on Royal York. code ninjas. A world where kids write the code. HV French Bakery. Another condo going up. There's something you don't see too often anymore. A Mr. Sub coming up. It's a pretty big standalone Mr. Sub. That was a very popular chain in the 80s going into the 90s. And it's kind of fizzled out a bit, much like the Second Cup coffee chain. But I prefer it to Subway. I think this area has an annual street festival. I remember seeing a taste of the Queensway. It would be really nice to be able to walk this stretch without vehicles racing by. Another exposed utility box. I saw one of those on the last one I recorded. Sizzling Indian spices. One thing I haven't seen, at least I don't think I've seen one, is a TD Bank. I realized I sold an item last night online, and the guy who came to pick it up gave me cash, and I've got more than I would need in my back pocket. I'm looking for a place to deposit it. I probably should have done that on my way to record this. Oh well. And coming up is a staple of this area. It's the Queensway Motel. I'm not sure what the draw of staying in this area would be. They're boasting 50-inch TVs. Seems a little on the small size. And here's another staple of the area. This place goes way back, Tom's Dairy Freeze. Old school cash-only ice cream shop. I don't think they're open since 1969. I bet you those weren't the prices in 1969. It's a pretty big Italian restaurant. So here's where the retail thins out. Maybe I'll cross over to the south side here.
Queensway, westbound towards Sherway.
That bus will be going to Sherway, not Sherway, as the automated announcement was making. And we wait. That guy didn't want to wait. Are there no rights on reds? That Kia has been sitting there for a while, waiting to pull out. It hasn't been honked at. Maybe it's just been a steady flow of traffic. And I think this is the Mimico Creek we're about to cross over. And the next major street is Park Lawn. This overpass was built in 1955. That would have been when the Queensway was extended. And we'll be heading past the main produce distribution center for the region in a few minutes. It's the Ontario Food Terminal. Here's a bank, but it's not the right one. Park Lawn Road. Well, that sign says Shop the Queensway on it, so the Queensway BIA is still looking after this area. And I could keep heading east here. And eventually, the 508 streetcar tracks will make an appearance. I guess there are also the 501 streetcar tracks. I remember passing through here as a kid in the 80s and 90s, and an entire skyline has emerged since then. None of these condos were around. Well, one of those two over there was, the Palace Pier. It was later joined by Palace Place. All right, I'm about to go live stream for a few hours after this. Maybe I should pick up a snack on the way. Well, that Timmy's is lined up pretty far. Screw that. Thinking I'd grab a muffin or something. Oh, this will work.
Diversification. Yeah. So,
Well, that took way too long to get a chocolate croissant. There's only one person ahead of me in line, but of course they took forever. And I ordered my croissant. I asked for it not to be warmed up, thinking I would get it right away, and about 10 minutes later, after several people who had ordered coffee after me already had their drinks, they let me know my warmed up chocolate croissant was ready. Oh well, shit happens, I guess, but that was a pretty incompetent experience. And there is the Ontario Food Terminal across the street. That has over 1.5 million feet of produce. I don't know if all of that space is devoted to produce, but if you're in the province, chances are you've eaten something that has come out of that building. Turning traffic must yield to pedestrians. I guess sometimes it's necessary to state the obvious. I don't know what kind of clearance you need to go to the food terminal. I'm pretty sure you just can't walk in off the street. And for some reason, someone has painted a bicycle with a couple of arrows above it. That serves absolutely no purpose. There's someone riding their bike on the sidewalk. Those are called sharrows. But if they weren't there, absolutely nothing changes. Don't grant you any special protection when you're on your bike. If anything, they create a false sense of safety. As you can ride your bike on the road anyways. And you can take the whole lane if you have to. And by law, anyone passing you has to leave at least a meter. But riding through this highway off and on ramp is particularly dangerous. There's the lady. Give her a little wave. And now it's under the rail corridor. And there's a mural commemorating the old Seahorse Motel. Just up ahead along Lakeshore used to be a well-known strip of motels. They started to disappear in the early 2000s to make way for all these new condo developments. Oh, there's a big circus tent there. If you know what that is all about, let me know down in the comments. That looks like something Cirque du Soleil would set up. They're usually east of here at Ontario Place. And we are nearing the park. Hey, there's a TD Canada Trust here. Maybe I'll just make my deposit on my way home. Oh, that is Cirque du Soleil. I think that's where the Mr. Christie Cookie Factory used to be. Always smell really good in this area. I'm gonna set my live stream to go live at 11:30, just in case people are wondering. What's going on? Normally I post every morning at 9 a.m. EST. And if I don't post a video, I live stream. And we have made it to Lakeshore Boulevard West, where the 508 streetcar roams. And it's Humber Bay Shores Park. So I'm just going to walk into the park for a little bit here and we'll wrap this up. It's been a while since I've been here. This would be my first time this year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. The 5G speed. Plenty of bandwidth here, it looks like.
Move 1 inch and I'm fine.
And we have made it to this butterfly habitat area. So I think what I'll do is wrap this one up and I'll start my live stream from this spot. So if you want to see walking through this park and then heading east into downtown, you can find that live stream on this channel by now. But let me know your thoughts and comments down below if you wish to support the channel. There's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink. And here's a little bonus footage. I've been having some problems with Rogers getting a good enough signal to stream with from down here. So I've walked over to this area and I believe I've grabbed a good enough signal, so I want to include this great view on the video, but now it's time to get the stream going. Thanks for watching, guys.